Welcome to Westeros Unveiling the Secrets. Winter may have come and gone, but the Game of Thrones universe is still full of mysteries. Whether you're a fan of the books, the show, or both, we've dug deep into the lore and behind-the-scenes stories to bring you 10 things you probably didn't know about Game of Thrones. Stick around because some of these facts will blow your mind. Let's dive in. You probably had nightmares after watching or reading The Red Wedding, right? I know I did. George R.R. Martin intertwined those storylines. Chilling. He was inspired by two real-life historical events. The first was the Black Dinner of 1440 in Scotland. King James II invites a young earl to a feast, but the night takes a sinister turn when the young earl is executed. The second inspiration is the Massacre of Glencoe in 1692. The Clan MacDonald welcomes their enemies into their home, a grave mistake as it turns out. They were slaughtered, a horrifying act that sent shockwaves through the Highlands. These events gave birth to one of the most unforgettable sequences in Game of Thrones. Before the series became a global phenomenon, before the dragons took flight and the Starks marched south, there was a disaster. The original Game of Thrones pilot was so bad, so utterly disastrous, that HBO almost scrapped the entire project. Can you imagine? No epic battles, no shocking betrayals, no dragons. Thankfully, the creators weren't ready to give up on Westeros just yet. They went back to the drawing board, reshot a staggering 90% of the episode, and even recast some key roles. Remember Daenerys Targaryen, the mother of dragons? Well, she was almost someone else entirely. Emilia Clarke wasn't the original Daenerys. That honor went to Tamsin Merchant. But fate, it seems, had other plans. And thank goodness for that. It's a stark reminder that even the greatest stories can have the most humble beginnings. It's a testament to the power of perseverance, the belief in a vision, even when the odds are stacked against you. When it came to casting Tyrion Lannister, there was only ever one man for the job: Peter Dinklage. George R.R. Martin and the showrunners didn't even audition anyone else. Martin had Dinklage in mind while writing the character. Dinklage embodies Tyrion's wit, intelligence, and vulnerability. It's a performance for the ages. Initially, Dinklage was hesitant. He'd been offered stereotypical roles before, but the creators assured him Tyrion was no stereotype. They needed Dinklage's unique talents to bring him to life. Peter Dinklage as Tyrion Lannister is one of the most iconic casting choices in television history. Chapter 4: The Iron Throne. A monstrosity of power. The Iron Throne, the very symbol of power in Westeros. A towering testament to Aegon the Conqueror's might. You've seen it on the show, a menacing tangle of swords. But did you know it's even more terrifying in the books? In George R.R. Martin's words, it's a monstrosity. He describes it as an enormous, twisted mass of swords, so large that it dwarfs everyone in the room. It's a far cry from the more manageable throne we see on screen. Martin has said that the show's version is far too small, that it doesn't capture the sheer scale and grandeur of the throne he envisioned. And it makes sense, doesn't it? The Iron Throne is supposed to be intimidating, awe-inspiring, a constant reminder of the power it represents. It's a shame the show couldn't quite capture that, but I suppose even dragons have their limits. Chapter 5: Lady Stark Lives On. A tale of love and loyalty. Sansa Stark's direwolf, Lady. Her untimely demise in the first season left many heartbroken, but there's a heartwarming twist to this tragic tale. Sophie Turner, who played Sansa, actually adopted Zuni, the dog who played Lady, in real life. After filming those early scenes together, forming that bond, Turner couldn't bear to part with her furry companion, and who could blame her? Those direwolves were more than just animals. They were family. So while Lady's time on screen was cut short, she found a loving home with Sophie Turner. It's a beautiful reminder that the bonds forged on set can extend far beyond the world of fiction. And it's a testament to the power of animals to touch our hearts, even in the darkest of times. Chapter 6: The Harrington Legacy. A family affair with walls. Jon Snow may know nothing, but Kit Harington, the actor who brought him to life, has a family history that's quite intriguing. It turns out that Harrington's ancestors were quite familiar with the concept of walls. Kit's family history is linked to Sir John Harington, a man who, back in the 15th century, attempted to build a massive wall in England. Now, it wasn't quite as epic as the wall in Game of Thrones, the one guarding the realm from the White Walkers, but it's still a fascinating connection. Imagine young Kit, years before donning Jon Snow's furs, hearing tales of his ancestors' ambitious project. Perhaps it sparked a fascination with walls, a subconscious connection to the role that would make him famous. It's a fun little tidbit, a reminder that reality can often echo fiction in the most unexpected ways. Chapter 7: Speaking Dothraki. Constructing a language from scratch. The Dothraki language, with its guttural sounds and complex structure, sounds incredibly real, doesn't it? That's because it is real. Well, sort of. David J. Peterson, a linguist extraordinaire, created the entire Dothraki language specifically for Game of Thrones. He didn't just cobble together a few words and phrases, he built a language from the ground up. Over 3,000 words, complete with grammar rules, sentence structures, and even its own unique slang. It's a testament to the dedication of the show's creators to immerse viewers in the world of Westeros. They could have easily gone with a made-up language, something that sounded vaguely foreign, but they went the extra mile, crafting a language so rich and detailed that it wouldn't feel out of place in our own world. It's a testament to the power of language to transport us, to make us believe in the impossible. In the world of television, adaptations often require creative liberties, and Game of Thrones is no exception. One of the most notable changes is the age of the characters. In George R.R. Martin's novels, many main players are younger than their on-screen counterparts. Daenerys Targaryen is only 13 when she's married off to Khal Drogo. Jon Snow is just 14 when he joins the Night's Watch. The showrunners decided to age up the characters for the series. It was a practical decision to avoid controversies and make the story more palatable. Ever dreamed of walking the streets of King's Landing or venturing beyond the wall into the icy wilderness? Well, you're in luck. Many of the iconic locations from Game of Thrones are real places you can visit. Dubrovnik, Croatia, with its stunning medieval architecture, served as the backdrop for King's Landing. Imagine strolling through those ancient streets, picturing Tyrion Lannister plotting his next move, or Cersei Lannister making her Walk of Atonement. And if you're feeling adventurous, head north to Iceland, where the show filmed the breathtaking landscapes beyond the wall. Picture yourself trekking across glaciers, feeling the chill of the frozen north, and maybe, just maybe, catching a glimpse of a wildling or two. It's a testament to the power of the show that it's inspired countless fans to embark on their own Westeros adventures, to experience the magic of the Seven Kingdoms in our own world. Arya Stark, the youngest Stark daughter, captivated audiences with her fierce spirit and her unconventional fighting style. Maisie Williams, who brought Arya to life, had to learn a very particular form of sword fighting for the role, water dancing. This graceful yet deadly style of swordsmanship isn't just a product of George R.R. Martin's imagination. It's actually inspired by real fencing techniques from Renaissance Italy. Water dancing emphasizes speed, agility, and precision, using the opponent's momentum against them. It's a perfect fit for Arya, who, despite her small stature, proves to be a formidable warrior. The show's fight choreographers drew inspiration from historical fencing manuals, studying the movements and techniques of these Renaissance swordsmen. They then adapted these techniques for the show, creating a fighting style that was both visually stunning and believable. It's a great example of how historical inspiration can breathe life into fictional worlds, adding a layer of authenticity and depth to even the most fantastical elements. There you have it. 10 things you probably didn't know about Game of Thrones. Which fact surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite shows and movies. Until next time, Valar Morghulis.